Yo, we in the game, talking number stakes high. Knowledge and skill, like a bird we fly. Analyzing stats, we don't just guess. Betting on the win, you know we're blessed. Just the bet slips, we keep it real. Breaking down the odds, you know the deal. Just the bet slips, we're making plays. Informed decisions, we light up the ways. Chasing that victory, hit the big score. Join the community, we're here for more. Rolling with the punches, we look for the signs. Parlays and props, counting all the coins. Every podcast episode, we bring the heat. Strategies laid out, can't accept defeat. Tune into the wisdom, hear our call. In this betting world, we'll never fall. Just the bet slips, we're making plays. Informed decisions, we light up the ways. Chasing that victory, hit the big score. Join the community, we're here for more. On this gambling journey, we ride the bet. With just the bet slips, you ain't seen nothing yet.
What is up? What is up? What is up, Bet Slip Nation? We are back. Yes, I know it's a little strange. Not used to seeing us back-to-back days, Monday and Tuesday, but we're here because I am bored and wanted to hop on, and Jen is also home and wants to talk some golf. So we decided to hop on, do a show for the people. Jen, thank you so much for doing this. How are we feeling? How are you doing? It is Masters Week. I know you're hyped.
It is Masters Week. Yep. Sorry I couldn't join you all this weekend. You might have seen my spirit fingers from behind Professor Parlay throughout the shows, but wasn't ready to jump on. Today I'm ready. I've done some research on the players. I can't believe it's here. I mean, the Masters, I can't believe it's here. And I said I was going to scale back my betting, and I did not.
No, absolutely not. And a little inside baseball for the people. I saw Hold My Earrings, Chick Picks Jen's slide for today, and it gave me massive anxiety. So
yeah, you feel like you were back in school and school is over. So
exactly. Yeah, actually, very, very good way of putting it. That's exactly what I felt like. But I cannot wait for you to explain it to everybody.
Sure.
Because I mean, you have been the golf maestro, as it were, so far since coming on the show. Since golf has happened, you've certainly been hitting at a pretty decent clip. So we will get.
How are you doing?
What's that?
How are you doing?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Hey, can't complain. I mean,
right.
UConn losing stunk, but kind of, it was a good game. I'm not like heartbroken over it or anything like that. UConn's been great. I kind of wish that they had given me like a send off, a nice championship send off as I head down to the Midwest. But no, other than that, I mean, decent day. I hit all my Knicks bets. I missed on all my baseball bets, so I'm trying. I have a lot of – so you might have seen I have 6 marquee matchups today because all of the baseball pitching matchups there's so many good ones, and I couldn't resist.
Awesome.
So and I do have some stats. I'm taking after you and the professor and, well, pretty much everybody but me when it comes to, instead of the gut and – whatnot, it is all I have stats to back up my picks today, so I feel pretty good about everything.
Awesome.
And before we get into anything, I do want to say this is just the Bet Slips. Thank you for joining us. If you're new to the show, I will obviously throw I'll do a retweet in a second, but here at Just the Bet Slips, we bring you one thing and one thing only. Chicks Picks Jen, you know what that is, and that is the hot tips to help your
Bet Slips.
Thank you. And before we get into any of said hot tips for your bet slips, let's do the thing that makes sure we don't get in any trouble, because we don't want any of that. Number 1, we are not paid professional gamblers. The show is for fun and entertainment purposes only. I think that's pretty much a known thing at this point, considering the shenanigans that takes place. But we hope to one day be in that echelon of gamblers, but not right now. Number 2, please gamble responsibly and at your own risk. Do not gamble more than you can afford, and only bet what you can afford to lose. Best piece of gambling advice I've personally ever been given in my life. And number 3, gambling can be addictive, so please seek help if you need it. You, a loved one, friend, can easily pick up your phone, we all have our phones on us. If gambling has gotten to that point, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yes, it's 1-800-GAMBLER. It is a national help hotline that can put you in touch with the people that you can get you the help that you need. Excuse me. And we are not affiliated with or sponsored by any sportsbook. However, as you can see, we are looking pretty dang cool in our Nevin eyewear. Shout out to Nevin. Love Nevin. It is such a great partnership. The idea that we've been able to make a little bit of money through Nevin eyewear is awesome. We love them. The partnership is great. We all have our Nevin eyewears. What are you wearing?
I'm not sure what style I'm wearing, but what I do know is I was really glad I had Nevin at the beach because I had 3 pairs and I never realized like how important it was to have 3 pairs of sunglasses. I could leave one in the car. I went with the boys when they played golf, so I was able to have one there, and then I had the confidence that if I got them scratched up or lost them, that they could be replaced at no charge. So it was a win-win. And I like these. They're clear, but they have lime green covers, and I'm a lime green girl. So they're not what I would typically wear, but I do love them.
There it is. And again, I mean, they're form-fitting, they're polarized. Like you said, if you lose them, they will be replaced. I forget who was telling the story about the Oakleys the other day. I think it was one of the boys about telling somebody at the bowling alley. You can get they're relatively inexpensive, and our deal is great. Their deal is great. Click on our link. You can get 1 for 30% off. Also, they do have prescription, by the way, for people who might need that. You could get 1 for 30% off, or the deal that I think we've all on this show have utilized is the buy 1, get 2 for free. That's buy 1 at full price, as you said. And you get 2 more. So you get 3 for the price of 1, and you will get that free shipping over $50. We love Nevin eyewear. They are awesome, and it's never odd or even. It is Nevin. So shout out to Nevin eyewear. I always say this, and I'm just honest when I say this. I'm not the best at explaining this. Would you like to take a stab at explaining Playvo to the people, Jen? I mean, you hear the professor say it all the time. I could give it a shot, but I feel bad saying that. But
I don't think I'm the most well versed at it. But what I will say is it's not a sports book, but it is a great option for those who don't want to put a lot of money into betting, but want to have the experience of betting, and it still turns into cash.
Yeah.
But it's through Playvo. It used to be called Player Profit. And there's like a tier system, and they have a great video. If you search Playvo on Google and go to their website, they have a great video that explains the process and how you go through different levels and how you need to win a little bit more before you lose, and those kinds of things. But it's kind of low risk with an option for a great reward.
Yeah, and exactly. You put it very, very eloquently, so I appreciate that. It's a games. It's basically a game. So it's not a sports book. They're going through a bunch of changes, but we would like you to use our code JTBS for 10% off, and to start today. And it's like, you know what? I'm not going to trip over my words. I will just go off of what Jen said, and they have a video right on their site that will explain everything way better than I can. Professor, he explains it very, very well, but he's obviously not here right now. So we will just point you to that video, but we will also point you to his bet, and that is his King of the Court today. He had to go off of LeBron, got scratched. I was actually very happy to see Professor supporting my guy LeBron, but instead he went to Julius Randle. By the way, I love the Professor. The way he spells certain names and pronounces them will never be old. He the way he spelled Julius Randle, and maybe it's just because Julius Randle was a Knick, so I know exactly how to spell his name. But the way he spelled Julius Randle just made me laugh. But anyway, it's Julius Randle, Timberwolves, 37+ PRA for his King of the Court. I don't hate it. I think, I believe Anthony Edwards might be banged up, and if that's true, then this makes even more sense. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I mean, 37, 35, I think is a great number for Julius Randle on any given night. So certainly not a bad pick for King of the Court. And again, this is the last King of the Court.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, this is the last King of the Court of the year. So
Okay.
I don't know. They might run it back in the playoffs, but I know it's the last one of the regular season. So
All right.
if you haven't already, it's a $5 minimum bet. This is on DraftKings. No free ads, but a free ad. So if you would like to get in on that action, a couple of us have hit some big ones over the course of the year. It's a $5 minimum bet, and King of the Court. So he's got Julius Randle. Yeah, last one I saw that today. I was like, damn. I mean, we're getting towards the end of it's April. It's Masters week. We're about to be in the playoffs of hockey and basketball. It's really going to turn into baseball season. So,
Yeah.
Jen, you're going to have to start learning on your baseball.
Oh, man, I'm a football and golf girl. But, yeah, I did. I went ahead and threw a dart at the dartboard for King of the Court today, too, and picked Jason Tatum. I don't know if he's going to hit or not, but I've got him at over 36.5 PRA, and he's my King of the Court. So we'll see.
Definitely not a bad bet, and I will get into mine when we get to the soft plushy tabletop later. Awesome. You know what? I make these slides and I always forget what's next. Oh, okay. Yes, I did want to put professors first just to get them out of the way. The 750 Club. It is the most inclusive club in all of sports gambling. Yes. There's one rule about Fight Club. You do not talk about it. There's one rule about the 750 Club. You tell everybody because it's currently up almost 4 units. Just saying. And today, the professor, again, don't have a lot of these stats in front of me, so my apologies. But this is, I know, a King of the Court, is what he said on the tweeter. I could probably bring up exactly what he said really quick, just so we have some context here, because he put a little bit of context behind it. All King of the Court favorites all together. So he's got Kawhi Leonard. He's got for 40 plus, he's got Cooper Flag 40 plus. Spoiler, I like that a lot. Just saying. He's got SGA, the presumptive MVP, at 39, and as mentioned before, Julius Randle, which he even brought down to 35 instead of 37. I love this. I think that this is a very solid bet. I think it's very doable. The only thing I would worry about, I worry just in general, Jen, about as we get close to the end of the season, the teams that are not really in it and the teams that are really going for it. And depending on the matchups, which I don't have in front of me, Clippers are playing. I think the Clippers are playing the Mavericks. I could be wrong about that. But I don't know the matchups. I don't have them in front of me. So my apologies. My dear apologies to the people who are expecting me to know all of this. But that is just my biggest thing when you get towards the end of the season, because there are definitely teams that are just have no chance to make the playoffs, and there are teams that are fighting for playoff spots. And I'm sure you can understand that, certain guys are going to be trying harder or not trying to get hurt or this, that, the other thing. So I do worry about it right now. But any thoughts on the 750 Club from the professor?
Yeah, no, I mean, all I can say, I mean, I agree. And with Randall, I think that since Edwards is out, I think Randall's going to get more usage there.
And did you check that? I think he is.
That's what I've read that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Perfect. Thank you.
So I think that's the case, and I think what you said is true. And that's true of like golf when you're not playing, for stuff. When football, we know just towards the end of the season or at the very beginning of the season when they're going to use stuff in the pregame. So it's just a risk with every single sport.
I got to tell you, you just saying the word football just makes me miss football so much. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that is 750 Club. He got that at plus 800. So shout out to the professor. Bowling tonight, right? Correct?
Yes.
Is that why? Yes. So shout out to the bowlers of the world. Next is all right. I'm going to bring myself down here. Yeah, huge marquee matchup. This is a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot. But as I mentioned earlier, I liked so many of them. I couldn't just pick one, and so I decided to pick 6. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but. You know what? It's just
explain marquee matchup again, if you don't mind.
What's that?
Explain the marquee matchup concept. if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. So the marquee matchup, it is brand new. It is my new segment. I felt left out because everybody has their segments and I didn't have one. So marquee matchup is generally speaking, I pick one pitching matchup and I pick the two pitchers in that matchup for 6+ strikeouts. So I did that for all of these except for one, number 4, as I will explain. I picked the two of them, parlay them together for 6+ strikeouts. And generally it'll usually only be one, sometimes maybe 2 or 3. But I mean, these are, for lack of a better term, these are marquee matchups. All of these are great pitchers. I don't know why we're getting this on a random Tuesday, all of these awesome matchups, but I love them. I love them all. I love them all so much. I parlayed them all together. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it is what it is. Almost 400 to 1. I got that at, which you'll see shortly. But that being said, I'll just try and breeze through them pretty quickly. Marquee matchup number 1, that's Christopher Sanchez, Robbie Ray. That would be Phillies and the Giants, I believe. I forget who Robbie Ray plays for now. But obviously Phillies for the PD King. I'm sure he would approve. Some stats here. This is all 2025 stats because obviously a lot of these guys have only made 1, maybe 2 starts so far in 2026. But Christopher Sanchez in 2025, he hit 6+ strikeouts 24 out of 34 times. That is a 70% clip, ladies and gentlemen. He's a strikeout guy. Robbie Ray, 19 for 31, a little less, but 61% clip last year at 6+, got that at +126. Number 2, George Kirby, strikeout. He's come on the scene a little bit more recently. Last season, he was. By the way, everybody here is over 50% last season, so that's why I just love all of these. George Kirby, 17 for 33. That's Seattle, and I believe Eovaldi's still a Texas Ranger. He was 50. Kirby was 51.5% last year, and Eovaldi was 51.6%. So, if I had to be honest, that's probably the one I'm a little bit worried about the most. But still love it. Number 3 is I really wish Professor was here to try and pronounce Yamamoto, but Yoshinobu Yamamoto, as the PD King would say. He hit at a 60% clip last year, 18 for 30. Kevin Gausman, who hit 21 of 32 for a 65, almost 66% clip, got that at +156. So I know I just explained that it's 6+ strikeouts, the marquee matchup, but I had to throw this in there because if you did 6 and 6 for Crochet and Mizorowski, it would be minus money. I wanted for the people to get that to plus money. So it's for them, for those two, that's the only one. Number 4 is 7 strikeouts each. Crochet and Mizorowski, even though the Red Sox have been dreadful to start the season, one of the worst teams. Brewers, on the other hand, one of the best teams. 7+ strikeouts for them. I didn't grab the I did. So 6+ for the two of those guys. Crochet was at an 81% clip last season with 6+ strikeouts. Mizorowski, rookie, started late. He ended up with 62%, 6 strikeouts. And then if you want to go to 7, Crochet hit 7+ at a 50% clip, and Mizorowski at an 58% clip, 7 strikeouts. So even though he's a young kid, he is now the ace of the Brewers. So give me that. That's a fun bet to have. Zach Gallen, former Cardinal, shout out. He hit 6+ strikeouts in 62.5% of his starts, 20 out of 32. And Freddie Peralta of the Mets hit 23 out of 32 for a almost 72% clip. He had 6+ strikeouts in his starts last year. Now he's a Met, and I believe he's hit 6 in the 2 starts that he's had as a Met so far this season. And last but not least, Paul Skeens. We all know him. 24 for 31 last year, 6+ strikeouts. I mean, he's just a strikeout machine for 72%. And then Nick Pivetta, a little less, 17 out of 32, and a 53% clip, 6+ strikeouts. Another one that I'm a little worried about, but I'm not worried about Skeens. I'm more worried about Pivetta. And that is the 6 marquee matchups for the day. I'm very excited for this. I couldn't help myself, Jen, and this is before I even knew that I would have a co-host today. I went a little crazy, but then I saw your slide and I realized, okay, there's way more names on your slide than there is mine. But which is actually funny because the next slide has like not even a name; it's just a bet, and then your tabletop is just might as well be 2 chalkboards worth. So I'm looking forward to it. Any thoughts? I know you're still not really in getting too into the baseball side of things, but any thoughts? I mean, I think I did pretty good with throwing out those percentages, right? I mean,
and I think that's the key. It's like I don't know a lot about baseball, hardly anything. I have heard of some of these folks, but you gave some statistics and some stats where we could, look at it and see. Yeah. We can even mix and match, even though they're the marquee matchups again. But don't have to bet all of them. Can bet some of them. Can combo them. So I think that's great. This is the only way you really get to learn it is learning this information. And making some of these pairings.
Thank you. And to your point, like, I mean, you can definitely take some of these. You'll see, and for my tabletop, you'll see that I pulled a professor, CJ. I parlayed them all together just because why not? But you can even drop some of these down like from 6 to 5 or 6 to 4, and you'll still end up getting decent money for that. If you want to make, like you said, mix and match. It's one of those things that, and because you'll see the odds, like odds, like you're seeing some of these guys. I'm pretty sure every single guy on here was minus money by themselves for 6 strikeouts. So if you're going to drop it one other strikeout, it's going to be a little bit more, you're going to have to get a little bit more juice, but that's just a leg you could put into a parlay.
100%.
So that's just kind of the thought process here. I may try and, I might look when we're done with the show, I might try and look and maybe drop some of these down myself. I'll post that. If I do, I will post it, but this is,
awesome.
They're favorites to hit at least 6. And all of these guys are favorites to have at least 6 strikeouts. So that's where this all comes from. And you know what? I'm so grateful. Shout out to the professor, by the way, for this graphic. He did a great job on that. You guys are messing around with the AI graphics is awesome. But that being said, let us get to the next one. And that is for you, my dear. It is the Hold My Earrings. And I'm going to bring you down solo. So I love this bet. And you're going to have to explain before you go. Is this on DraftKings?
I bet it on DraftKings. Yeah, you might be able to bet it other places too. But yeah, it's for the Masters. It's first time major winner. And from the research that I did, in over 50 years, 47 winners have been it's been their first time major winner.
What? Whoa. Hold on. I'm going to bring myself back up. Yeah. Can you say that one more time? What?
The research I did said that over the last 50 years, 47 of the Masters winners, it's been their first time as a major winner.
That's an unbelievable stat.
Now, the majors are considered the Masters tournament, the PGA Championship, the U.S. Open, and the Open Championship, which is the British Open. But yeah, so 47, what I researched was 47 over the last 50 years. The winner of the Masters, it's been their first time as a major winner.
What a stat.
However, you also have to couple that with what I'll talk about in a little bit about the Masters is like course history is really important. And like, these are the best of the best that are here with some special invites. And I know someone's going to ruin my life again, because someone who I would assume would make the cut's not going to make the cut. But I think there will be a first time major winner with this. That's plus 138. I did bet it on DraftKings. You might also be able to bet it on other sports books.
Yeah, that is such a fun bet. I wonder what I'm going to have to make sure I check that before the end of whenever. Obviously, it's Tuesday, so we got a couple days. But and I don't know how much you are watching like the the pre stuff, like the Wednesday at the where they have the I think they do the part. I could be wrong. The par 3 challenge, I believe, and then I don't know if you can bet on it, but which is neither here nor there. But that a lot of the golfers bring their kids out on the course and they're playing. Yeah,
I've watched some of the kids, and I've watched the skipping where they
Yep.
Oh my gosh, classic.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
But I am working, so I can't today and tomorrow and all that. But yeah, this weekend I saw a little bit. And I can see some highlights.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to need you on the show at least one of the weekend.
Right.
You know that, okay?
Yes, I know that.
Making sure, especially once you go through your tabletop here. But speaking of tabletops, why don't we get into it? Get your fingers ready because it is time for the soft, plushy table top. Bang. Let's go. As I said, we're going to talk about Professors really quick. He's got his baseball parlay. He likes skeins. He likes crochet. He likes Jake. That's literally, I have all of those. So I literally just talked about all those. I didn't even realize that. I have skein 6 and I have crochet and Rizarowski 7. So awesome. As I mentioned, so that's actually perfect. I didn't even realize that was the case. So shout out to the Professor. On his other side, he's got the Hornets plus 11.5, one of the dark horses in the East. Miles Bridges 12 plus points. If I know the Professor, then that's probably right around what he averages. He likes the Thunder. The Thunder 9.5. They are playing the Lakers, who are Luka and Austin Reeves-less. It is just LeBron who is being LeBron. And shout out. Oh, well, no. And LeBron's not even playing. So now 9.5 seems pretty easy at this point. You probably bet that before the LeBron news came out. And then SGA 25 plus. This screwed me the other day. The only thing I would say about this is, I think it's going to happen. But if the Thunder, which is very possible with all three of those superstars out for the Lakers, that there's a chance that SGA sits. He'll get his 20 at least. He's going to get 20. He's going to continue his NBA record of 20-plus points in a game. Is consecutive. It's the NBA record right now. But if they are winning by 20, 30, 40 points going into the end of the third quarter, they will sit SGA, and he might not get that because that happened to me the other day. So that's the only thing I have to say about parlay number 2. Parlay number 1, I love, as I spoke about it, and obviously that was his best bet onto the tabletop. Any thoughts from you?
No, I just see him and you all stressing like in those last couple minutes of a game or the last, somebody gets pulled in the third quarter because they're ahead so much or something. And just the stress of whether they're not going to go back in I just can't take it.
And it's also, and I had mentioned it earlier, it's like because you don't know. Like, I mean, the Thunder have locked up they're the number 1 team. Like, we're getting towards the end of the season. Like, you never know. Like, he's going to get his 20. Don't get me wrong. For whatever reason, the Thunder want SGA's NBA record to continue with 20-plus points. That's a lock. But 25 is not always guaranteed because they might take him out, rest him. Especially they're gonna win this game by more than 10. So that 9.5 is easy. I don't know as much about the Miles Bridges and the Hornets. I know the Hornets are fighting for a playoff spot. I don't know who they're facing, but so that, I mean, you're getting 11.5 points. He'd probably move that if I had to guess. But yeah, no, you have to be careful now towards the end of the season. Playoffs is different. Playoffs, you're getting the stars are going to star in the playoffs, obviously. But end of the regular season, you have to be a little careful. But I do love the MLB. I literally gave all the stats I could for those pitchers. So that's pretty. I'll have to throw something in the group chat about that. But next, I believe, is Jen's Chicks Picks. The mess. Look at all those words, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to grab my notebook right here, and I'm going to let Jen take over the stage. Hold on. Let me just get a fresh piece of paper right here. And I am going to listen to the golf master, pun intended, tell us about her picks for this weekend. Let's go.
All right, boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, I'm going to tell you about these picks. You're going to have to come back and visit the slide because I'm not going to go through every single name. It would take us a whole show. But what we're going to do is we're going to start on the right-hand side. Got a little bit creative with this and wondered if I could put together a parlay of folks who have won a PGA Tour tournament this year in 2026. Goddard has won 2, I think. And then there was one person who had won one who is not in the Masters, and that is Castillo. But all of these people on the right side have won a 2026 PGA tournament this year.
Okay.
I went ahead and put them together and said if they all make the cut, it's plus 1934, which seemed really high for everybody who's already won a tournament. But I get it. It's a different kind of course. But to make the cut, it's plus 1934. For them all to be in the top 40, including ties, it's plus 5,100. And to be in the top 30, including ties, it's plus 50,000. So just consider that one of your forget that dimes. But if you like the idea of betting people who have won a tournament this year, this is your parlay. Below that, I was scrolling through Facebook and I follow the Masters, and they were highlighting that if you watch the tournament on the Masters.com, they are highlighting 4 pairings, meaning they're going to show every single shot that everybody in these 4 pairings makes throughout the entire tournament. So I thought that was kind of cool. If you want to actually watch every single one of their shots, these are the pairings. Like DeChambeau, Fitzpatrick, and Xander are all together. So I put them each together for making the top 40. You can run each of those. You'll see pairing number 1 is minus 130. Pairing number 2 is plus 632. That's because it includes Howell. Howell, and I need to pull that up because I don't have my notes on Howell. Howell, I think, is 18. And let me see how he got into this tournament. 1 second. See if I can pull that really fast. His journey to the majors.
Yeah, it must have been.
He 1 second.
Where he finished the last time he was in. The Masters always how people qualify for that. I as a golf guy, I really don't understand.
Yeah, so he's not. He's going to set his sights on that. 1 second. It's his first time competing in the Masters in the past 5 years. His best finish over his last 10 appearances came at the Texas Children's Open, where he missed the cut with a score of 1 under. And then, oh shoot, I'm sorry, folks, I'm not able to pull it up. But he had won some. He's good, but he's green. So that's why. But I do think he'll be inspired by playing with McIlroy and Young. So I'm hoping that's going to lift his game a little. I know when I'm in competitive sports, if I'm playing with those that are better than I am, then I step up too. I don't see it. I see it as a challenge. And so there's some incentive there. And they might, if he's smart, he'll learn as they take shots too. But yeah, so that's why that one is plus 632. That's a bit of a reach. And then you've got pairing number 3 and pairing number 4 as well. I went ahead and said, okay, what if all 4, we put them together to make the cut? That was plus 1702. And what if all 4 made the top 50? And that was over 5,600. Again, please keep in mind, if you make this bet, Howell is your big outlier there. Do some research on Howell, see if you like it, see if you want to include that pairing or not. But again, if you want to watch every single shot that these pairings make, you can watch it on masters.com. Then on the far left is kind of my traditional parlays. The research that I do that takes into account for this tournament, I'm trying to take into account some course history. I'm taking into account younger golfers tend to do better, like in their 20s and early 30s. There is a slight advantage, although it is slight, for left-handed golfers, and that would include Bhatia and McIntyre are both lefties. There are some folks who I kind of liked, but I didn't include, like Bridgman because it's his debut at the Masters. And there really is a history here that after you've played 2 or 3 years at the Masters, that's when people start to win. So there are some folks, if they're really green at the Masters, I didn't take a chance on them. But yeah, so you've got parlays 1 through 6. The reason there are so many parlays is just from the experience I've had with sharing some of these parlays with you all. When I hit my plus 19,000, I had parlays. I think I had 4 parlays, and there were 4 in each, I believe. I hit all of them, and I thought that was the bar. I thought, oh man, this is I've cracked the code. I know something. I've got a cheat sheet on how to do golf. And then I was humbled at the next tournament when I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do the same thing. That was fun money. Well, it wasn't as easy. And then the next tournament I did 5 in a pairing, and I realized you're more likely to miss the pairings the more people you put in there, even if they are household names, even if they are world champions, even if they are nationally ranked. Someone's going to miss the cut who's just going to devastate you. So what I've decided to do this time is to make more pairings with fewer people. That's why the odds are minus 152, minus 137, minus 112. Smaller odds, fewer people in each parlay, but you're going to make a little bit of money in each. If you want to have a little bit more risk, you can put all the parlays together. You can see parlays 1 through 6 to make the cut is plus 38.51.
Wow, it's not even that bad. Yeah.
And then I did these on DraftKings. So these stats are from DraftKings. DraftKings wouldn't let me parlay everybody together for the top 40. So what the parlay 1 through 6 is everybody in those parlays except for Nikolai Højgaard, Rose, and Hatton. If you take those 3 out, the rest of those parlays together, it's plus 32.47. So yeah, it's not the plus 19,000, but it's something more realistic, but something that's a little tasty. And then Hatton, if you're not familiar with him, I was reading up a little bit on him. He came from the Live Tour. So depending on which golfers, you look at like world rankings. I don't think the world rankings take into account the Live players. So you've got to be careful which data source you look at in terms of world rankings. But I went ahead and included him. And I think DeChambeau would also be in that group. So that's what it is. On the far right, you've got people who have won a 2026 PGA tournament. Then you also have the Masters.com pairings, and that Masters.com is showing every single shot from every single one of those players. And then on the left, you've got my traditional parlays where I do the research. I look at the history, and I put together some parlays that I think will hit and give you small odds as well as big combo odds. I like make the cut. It's easier to make the cut, easier to predict that, and the top 40. As the tournament goes on, I'll start doing some 10s. Like I've got some top 10 first round leaders that I'm betting personally, not for the show. But those are a little riskier. But if you want to start dipping your toes in golf, I suggest make the cut, pick these if you like, and run with it.
Yeah, I mean, and you want to get these in sooner rather than later too, by the way. Yeah. I do like, by the all of those make the cuts on the left side are obviously show acceptable with their odds, which is also very good. And I think those are fun. Those are fun ones because you can hit those going into Saturday, and if you hit some of them, you have a little bit more juice to throw on a favorite, or you throw on a winner or whatever, what have you. I love. And can you explain again why you couldn't do the Højgaard, Rose, and Hatton? It just
I don't know. There must have been too many, because when I can do a parlay on DraftKings, I've always been able to do a parlay of up to 20. So I can do make the cut of a parlay. You can see parlay 1 through 6 make the cut. They let me put them all and make the cut. But I think once you start talking top 40, they don't let you bet. In this case, I couldn't do. I think it was 18 of 40.
Okay, yeah.
So they start cutting you.
Kind of makes sense. Yeah, kind of makes sense.
18, 19, 20. Yeah, it was 20. It would in 20 of 40. So you couldn't do 20 of 40. So they let me do 18 of 40. So that's why I took 3 out.
I have to say, though, by the way, we have to take a picture of this because and post it. The right side is unreal. The tour winners, those parlays are awesome. I think that's great. But then the fact that you and credit to you, Jen, like if you want something like it's free. It's free to watch them. You just get the Masters app. I'm sure that all these pairings are on there, which I download every year, the Masters app, and then I get rid of it after the Masters is over. But the Masters app, these Masters.com pairings, like if these are the featured matchups, so you can put these all in and actually see them live. That is like such a fun like bet to have. If you've never been on the Masters, that's probably the Masters.com pairings again and Masters app. I'm assuming it's the same thing. That's so fun. That is such a fun bet to like just if you've never been on golf, just throw that on there.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too. I didn't, I have in the tour winners one, it says including ties. Do make sure if you bet the top 40, you include ties. You will really get burned if you don't.
Yeah.
It's worth the discount. You don't get as much. The odds aren't as great, but the cut that you take on the odds is far worth it. So make sure anywhere it says top 40 in these slides for me, it always includes ties. And what was the other thing I was going to say? I don't remember, but yeah, so I think it'll be fun. The other thing I was going to say, I think the cool thing about this slide is if you want to bet odds at -103, I've got an option for you on the left. If you want to bet odds of plus 50,000, I've got an option for you on the right, and anything in between. So whatever your comfort level is, do it responsibly. I've put a very small amount on every player on the left side to win. Clearly only one of them is going to win, but I think some of the higher odds, again, as Pat said, the earlier you get in on these, the better the odds are.
Correct.
So you bet on them now versus if you wait until Wednesday night or Thursday morning, the odds are going to shift. Could be in your favor, but likely not. So do your research, look at my research, and then make your bets accordingly. But again, from -103 all the way to plus 50,000.
And just for the record, you bet all of these.
Yes, I bet all of these parlays, and then I bought everybody in the left to win.
Unbelievable. Yeah, she's our golf lady, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, I don't know how to follow it up. I probably should have put you last, but
no, fewer words is a better way to follow up.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have too much. I all of my marquee matchups I want towards my record, so that's why I put that there. As you can see, I parlayed all of the marquee matchups for nearly 400 to 1. That'd be cool. My daily Alec Burleson and JJ Weatherholt 2+ hits, runs, RBIs bet that is in that game's actually going to start soon. Actually, we're actually going to end at a pretty decent time for all the baseball and whatnot. But I got that boosted to 309. Shout out to DraftKings. Didn't include him on my marquee matchup because his opponent didn't tickle my fancies, but give me the ace that is Terry Skubal, 9+ Ks, plus 127. And then my king of the court, as we saw, the professor had Cooper Flag at 40. I grabbed Cooper Flag at 42 plus Pride of Maine, -110. He's been on a roll. He's really gunning for that Rookie of the Year. I know the C-Moneys and the professors of the world think that Con Knuppel should have it. One of the more exciting Rookie of the Year races in a long time. I mean, Cooper, just youngest player ever to have 50 points in a game. Then he followed that up with another 40-point game. It's going to be close, but I just think that the Mavericks have nobody except for him. So give me Cooper Flag 42 plus. Hopefully wins me the king of the court. That's all I got there. I think we have some last calls. I know you
picked Cooper Flag last week, I think, and missed. But yeah, I know.
Imagine there was king of the court the last 2 days, and we had the day that he had 50 points. Like, oh my goodness, that would have been probably a lot of money, and honestly, probably a decent amount of money if he wins this. I don't know how many people are gonna. Maybe there is more people now because of his recent, performances, but that's the way I went. I did like the 36.5 for Tatum, and then who did Randall. Randall's not a bad one too. But, we're getting towards the end of the season, the last one of the year. So I'm going with my guy. It's been my guy. I have family in Maine, and shout out to Cooper Flag. But that being said, we will get to the last calls. Please don't mind the wrong font. It was a last-second thing. But Professor Parlay has Marcelo Zuna, 1+ home run. By the way, he's got to pick a different picture when he posts it on X.com and everything app, because he picked Marcelo Zuna but posted a picture of a Caucasian man. And Marcelo Zuna is not a Caucasian man, so just want to throw that out there. He probably won't see this, but we'll relay that information to him another day. Plus 580 to hit the longest home run. Mine is I actually picked DeChambeau yesterday just to be the outright winner. I think he's been playing good golf. You had mentioned him skipping it across the water. That video was really cool. He's won two of the last. I think he's won 2 recent live events and is just playing really good golf right now. So 1075 is such a good number for a golfer like DeChambeau. But what do you have, Jen, for your last call?
Yep, I agree with you on DeChambeau. So I have got bets. I'm sharing with you all bets that I always make. I usually don't put on the show. I am betting an Albatross. If you're not familiar with Albatrosses, they are 3 shots under par. So if you had like a par 4, it's essentially a hole-in-one. If it's a par 5, it's like a double birdie. So it's rare, but there are a couple of hit this year. And then I always bet hole-in-one. It happened at the Valero tournament. So you can bet just the hole-in-one, or you can bet a hole-in-one for each round. And the one thing I saw that was glaringly obvious at this, the difference between round 4 at plus 174 and the difference of round 3 at plus 520. I don't know why that's so drastic, except for possibly weather. But my argument here, and again, I bet at every tournament except for one this year. If I feel like the course really isn't designed for holes in one, if I don't see a history of it, I won't bet it. There is history here of holes in one at this course. So you can bet it for the whole tournament or for each round. I do both. And just hope, the fun thing is, especially if it happens on round 1 or 2 and I get a notification, again, I usually bet on DraftKings. I get a notification from DraftKings at like 1 p.m. that a bet has cashed. I'm only betting golf, so I know that someone's either hit an Albatross or a hole-in-one. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten paid. So I get super giggly like a schoolgirl and go see who it was, and then go watch it happen, and then show it to everyone who's around me. Look at this! Did you see this? It's a hole-in-one. So it's probably one of my favorite bets. It was my first bet I started making with golf, and I just wanted to share that with everyone in the chat.
Absolutely, that's those are fun bets. Yeah, that is strange how it goes.
So drastic, yeah. But I'm guessing weather. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would imagine that has to do with it. But like hole-in-one in the tourney, minus one. I mean, but then 355, 390, 520, and then right back down to 174. Like, how do they even come up with that? I have no idea.
I don't know. They might get a car, but I would like to get paid, so I'll put some money on it.
Let's go. Especially the Albatross. I love that bet. Yeah. And then here are the records. Yes, I know. I'm sorry, Miss Jen. You will have to hopefully hit some of your golf bets to get back on the left. And honestly, you probably will be just the queen of the units at the end of everything. If history repeats itself, which it tends to do, you will probably be dominating all of us. But hey, so far so good on the month for everybody. I mean, our worst is only 1 unit down with 1 bet. I had a decent day yesterday. Professor, he ended up hitting 1, and then Petey King, who hasn't been on the show for a couple days, ended up stays where he's at. No from Parker yet, but I'm sure we'll get that soon. Yeah, that is it. Thank you so much, Jen, for doing this.
Absolutely.
I think it's great for especially Masters Week. And, I had to hop on yesterday for National Championship.
Mhm.
I think we should try and do shows. It's Masters Week. It's a huge week in sports. It's a huge week for, NBA is coming to a close. NHL is coming to a close. MLB is just getting into everything. So I feel like being on was better than not being on. So
Absolutely. And I had a teaser for everybody at tomorrow night's show. We'll have a show tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's show is when we will post. Every one of the hosts usually picks somebody to win the tournament, and we're all going to pick somebody. We won't show that slide till tomorrow night. So if you want to see what everybody thinks, we're going to do that. And do us a favor before you wrap up for your night and start making dinner or anything like that. If you've really enjoyed this show, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please share. We can only get bigger and better with your help. So if you like anything we've done, if you like the analysis, this is your time to really help us out. We don't need any money. We just need a like and a share and a follow.
Couldn't say it any better. Obviously, please go to Nevin Eyewear using our link that's in our profile. You can also please go to Playvo, Player Profit, and sign up using JTBS code. All of that helps us. But as Jen just said, please just subscribe if you're new to the show and you aren't subscribed already. That is really the main thing that will put us to the next level. So we really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see everybody tomorrow night, 5:30-ish. As always, it'll be right around there. And we will have more picks. We'll have more golf talk, I would imagine. I think the boys are probably going to want to talk some golf. And
Golf, baseball, basketball, all of it.
Everything is happening. Everything is happening here at Just the Best Slips, where we bring you one thing and one thing only, and that is the hot tips to help your
bet
slips. Thank you again, Jen. I like Poolside Pat and Jen shows. That was fun.
Me too.
I had a lot of fun. But let us play you out. And I should have clicked the button first, but still one more time. Let us play you out now.
Yo, we in the game, talking number stakes high. Knowledge and skill, like a bird we fly. Analyzing stats, we don't just guess. Betting on the win, we're blessed. Just the bet slips, we keep it real. Breaking down the odds, the deal. Just the bet slips, we're making plays. Informed decisions, we light up the ways. Chasing that victory, hit the big score. Join the community, we're here for more. Rolling with the punches, we look for the signs. Parlays and props, counting all the coins. Every podcast episode, we bring the heat. Strategies laid out, can't accept defeat. Tune into the wisdom, hear our call. In this betting world, we'll never fall. Just the bet slips, we're making plays. Informed decisions, we light up the ways. Chasing that victory, hit the big score. Join the community, we're here for more. On this gambling journey, we ride the bet. With just the bet slips, you ain't seen nothing yet.